We have a wonderful, wonderful health topic here. We've had Ese over this month who has been lovely, giving us quite an enlightening and, of course, sessions where we get to learn so much. Now, today we're going to be talking about embracing gratitude as a tool for mental wellness. Ese, it is great to have you once again.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Your the feedback from a number of people who have even watched told me that, look, this has been quite enlightening for them, and they've learned so much. So, you know, it's a wonderful way to wrap up when you say gratitude as a tool for mental, awareness and all of that. How does this work? Okay,
so gratitude has been researched to help actually to rewire our brains. So according to Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, as opposed to always thinking about mental psychology as a way to relieve suffering, he thought about a way of psychology as being a way to enhance well-being. So he's always on the positive outlook, mental resilience, how to actually improve. So during his research, he found out that those that were more grateful, their brains had the ability to produce more happy and feel-good hormones like dopamine and the rest. And also it helped to reduce the cortisol level.
So you see, I love this. So you're saying that gratitude does almost as much or maybe even more to you.
Yes.
Who is giving the gratitude.
Yes, so it makes you to enjoy that feeling. So he did an exercise. He said, come up with, just think about anybody that's ever affected your life positive, that's still alive, that you never really thanked. He came up with that and said, when you think about that person, enjoy that feeling, and then write a note or a letter to that person. By doing that, you're bringing back that emotion. Because when you are happy about it, your mind remembers how you felt when that thing happened and everything.
Yes, I don't know if this is to digress.
No problem.
What about from the so in a case, this happened to a few days, a friend who did something and said, the person felt bad that the person he did that thing for didn't appreciate him. You understand? You know, when you're expecting somebody to be grateful, I said, not even thank you. There's this deal that we concluded was worth millions.
Yeah.
And you know, like you even came to give me something, but you didn't even say thank you. Now, so when you say gratitude, how does one show that gratitude? Is it, because, you might give that gratitude and maybe somebody else might feel, doing it and the person, yes, my feeling is not enough. Okay, something that maybe has to do with a deal or money and then you just say thank you. Maybe the person was expecting maybe airtime or something a little bit more and all that. So as much as you are giving the gratitude, do you also have to put in mind how the person that you're giving that gratitude, how the reception is, I don't know if you understand
that would be definitely out of, remember I said something some weeks ago, there are things within your control, things outside your control.
Okay.
So that's not, you can't really judge that. And it depends on how the person perceives themselves. So if, for example, I don't have a positive mindset about myself, it's not even about you giving me gratitude, it's how I see myself. I'm trying to gauge my own self-worth by what people do for me. So that one is totally out.
I like it. Okay, so let's go. So showing that gratitude, like you said, dopamine and all of that, it does a lot to you when it comes to your own mental health. And so that's why it's necessary to show gratitude, as it were.
Yes.
All right, so in what other ways does this help when it comes to mental awareness?
So it takes your mind off, because we focus too much on the negatives. So in a day, maybe you wake up in the morning, you go out, and then you get stuck in traffic, you get to work late, and then you just focus on that bad experience. Maybe you get to work, and then you get scolded, or you got query and everything, and your mind just zooms into that negative, and then you forget about every other thing that happened. Most times we focus so much on the negatives in a day, that's why we get into depression. Our ability to, I'm not saying we should not learn from our mistakes. Okay, I should have woken up earlier, but don't focus all your emotions on that one negative thing.
Wow.
It happens in relationship too. You have a spouse and they're doing a lot, and then they just do something you don't like, and then you leave every other thing and just focus on that one thing. A lot of people have lost good relationships because they just couldn't shake off that one thing.
That person did. Yes. Very true.
So your ability to not just focus. So when you say gratitude, it's not just about being grateful for what happens to you. It's being grateful for everything around you, for your friends, your family, so you can now see the positives and not just focus on the negatives. Especially with the world of social media, we tend to actually zone in on negatives too much. So being able to practice that feeling of gratitude daily. And one of the things that Seligman said we should do is to write three things every day you should be grateful for. So it's not that, okay, you're grateful for life yesterday and then that's all you are grateful for today. Think of something else for today. Think of something else. So just actually look out for good. It attracts it to you. There are a lot of, in church, they say it in church, they say it in various kind of religion, that the more you focus on positives, you attract positive. When you focus on negative, you attract negative. You understand?
I get all of this. What if a situation where, like you said, okay, you made mention about how your spouse might have been doing something and then maybe that one thing that they did, what if it's more than one thing that they did that was not good? So maybe let's say you get to cases where the minuses outweigh the pluses. In that scenario, how can you maybe hack your mind or work on this?
No, so I would not say the person should hack their mind.
Okay.
If that comes to play, that means something is wrong. And there's always something to do about it. There's another research of Seligman talked about learned helplessness. So in the experiment, a rat was treated with electric shock over time.
Okay.
So after a while, they now placed that same rat in a box where a part had electric shock and another part did not have electric shock. Because that rat had gotten used to being electrocuted, it did not try to help themselves, it just stayed. So it's called the theory of learned helplessness. So I understand what you mean, like you're now used to whatever is happening and then, but that's not it. The truth is, at the end of the day, being in a negative environment over time will make you to get used to it and then you balance out and feel that's all there is. That's not what we're saying. I'm not saying you should be grateful for every little thing you get. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in spite of everything that's happening around you, try to look out for the good. So there's a balance. On one hand, you're looking out for the good. On the other hand, try not to stay in a toxic environment for so long that you become complacent.
Ese, thank you. It has always been a pleasure talking to you all across this month. Let's just have a final word. Final words, looking at everything we've done this month, when it comes to mental awareness, mental health, what are those final words that I can give to people out there that they can go back home with?
I would always go back to my go-to phrase. Always separate the things you can control from the things you can't control. Focus on the things
you can control.
And then when you can't control it, focus on your emotions. So for the things you can't control, focus on how you feel about it.
How you react to them when it does happen. It's been expository. Thank you so much for coming all through this month. All right. Okay, hope you've been able to pick one or two things. We'll take a time out. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Our final guest will be here in a bit.